Hi, everybody. Welcome to Into the Fire. I'm Bob Bones. You might have guessed that it's not Sid tonight. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us, so he's passed over the controls of the Starship Enterprise to myself. So I've got the captain's chair for the night. So we've got a few buttons to learn here, so it could be a car crash. Might get away with it, but we've got a show lined up for you with our friends from 6 Feet Below who are waiting backstage, as we like to call it, and we'll be bringing them on and having a chat soon. But I've been told that these guys are good talkers, and from what I've seen, while we've been having a bit of chat before we came on air, they were right. So we're going to try and squeeze a track in first before everything goes haywire. This is going to be Skin Like Winter and Track Here, and then we'll bring the band on and have a bit chat with the guys. See you in a bit. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I was Skin Like Winter, as I said, and Trekkie. But now we're going to get on to the band that you may have tuned in to see tonight. That's 6 Feet Below. And we've got a bit of a surprise for everybody who normally joins us in our chat groups, who used to having a bit correspond with Josh and Bob, because we've actually got a third member of the band with us tonight as well. So we're going to bring them in. We've got Josh, Bob, and Paul. Hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Bob.
Hello.
How are you all doing? I saw you doing a bit headbanging there to that track on the off screen there, Paul. You were obviously enjoying it.
Oh, I love any kind of music genre, anything. You know, that's how I learned my craft, really. So, you know, rap, rock, blues, reggae, anything. That's where I come from, really. Anything.
Oh, that's a great way. It's good to see that you actually exist, because we thought Josh kept making all these memes and making people look. He was putting different face masks on for it all, wasn't he? You know,
Yeah.
so. But
yeah.
We were hiding them away for a special occasion.
I tell you what, it doesn't come to me to approve them to me. And then when I see them on Facebook, it's a bit of a surprise. But, you know, it's a happy surprise.
I think my favourite one's the Terminator one.
Yes, I quite enjoyed that one. You obviously have to take a bit of stick when Josh is controlling your social media.
A certain amount.
It's for the greater
Has he ever
good.
gone too far,
Yeah.
has he?
No, not really. I like it because I know he's thinking of me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't mean it, Paul. You know, it's all for, you know, it's all for the band. And
Well,
you know,
that's the thing. That's what we are. We're more like family rather than bandmates, and that's what gets us together. You know, I know Bob hasn't been with us for that long, but Bob has fit in really well, and Josh, he's the concrete of everything, really, and Mark is. You know, I really wish you could all meet Mark, really, because he's just an absolute perfect person. But you know, these guys are absolutely, you know, legends to me. They're my family, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice to hear. And a nice close knit outfit then.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to think so. Yeah, it was nice to slot straight in. You know, when I first met the guys, it was, apart from the strength of the music, it was how the guys were. Which unusually, you know, it's quite rare. You know, you think every band would be, you know, really close knit and tied together, but these guys really are.
It is. It's good to hear. I mean, I don't know how long you'd actually been together. When I first got to know you guys, it must have been about July, August time last year when I started doing a Band of the Day feature on one of the metal pages that we find on social media, and made you guys Band of the Day, and sort of that was the track that was playing out at the time. You've been working on an EP, obviously, ever since that. Well, you're getting closer to getting that released as well, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We've got the final production of the final track done. It's just for me to lay down my vocals now. It's all written, and I've just got to lay down a few tracks, and that should be epic. Should complement the first 3 tracks really, really well.
Yeah, I really like the first 3 that you put out, so I'm looking forward to hearing the new one. I've actually heard snippets of the music. Obviously, I haven't heard any of the vocals go on it yet, and I don't know if you guys have named it yet, but I haven't heard the name come along. But really looking forward to hearing a completed song for that one.
We'll name it. Well, the guys, I get too close to it. So when I'm writing all the words and everything like that, so what I'll do is I'll just put the lyrics out to the guys when I finished, and we'll discuss. I'll just say, pick a name, pick a part of the song, you know, and they'll do that, and that theme will stick.
Yeah. So how long had you guys actually been together before Bob joined you then?
Well, it's hard to say because obviously, Paul, out of everyone here, Paul's been with the band, I don't know, however long Paul's been. To me, it started with Mark, because obviously Mark's the oldest member of the band by several years, and you know, it probably started about 20 years ago, and then it's sort of evolved over time And then obviously eventually he met Paul, and then I met Paul, and then I eventually joined the band, and then obviously we've got Bob now, and that's just where we are.
When did you join it with them, Bob? When did you join the band officially?
Last year, I went for rehearsal. I actually saw the advert in Band Mix, and I'd been looking at the advert because I liked the logo, I liked the skull. It's skull and bones, and it says it's a skull with bones over the top of it, which is quite a portent, I know. But there you go.
I kind of like skulls and bones, so, it seems to work.
I thought you might gravitate towards that. But on the advert, it said average age of band 24. Right, so I'm thinking I can't do that. I can't do that. No, they're just going to be kids, and it's going to be mental. So I just can't do that. But anyway, I just sent Josh a message, and he says, "Oh, it's all right, cause Mark's over 50." And I thought, right, I'm in. Right, I thought, well, I'll go. I've listened to tracks. I've print some stuff out. I'll learn the songs. And I went down there, and we just started rattling them out, and my voice seemed to fit well with it. We went through. We started playing. We played Bark at Moon, which sadly I couldn't remember all the words for, but I remembered all the mannerisms and all the tones and stuff like that. And and it was great. And it was great. It was powerful, and it was unusually. It was together. It was together.
Yeah.
It was really tight.
That first sort of audition session, we just clicked, didn't we? And just came together like it was meant, like it was, like it was just meant to happen.
If you don't mind me saying so, when Bob said he couldn't remember all the lyrics, well, we couldn't tell because, his lyrics.
Well,
his vocals were just. We were just. No. The thing what I'm trying to say is when. As for me, as a drummer, like perspective is when you're like listening to a singer for the first time, you're used to your guitarist and your bassist playing, and you're used to your own playing. But when a different vocalist comes along, and we tried out a few vocalists, and it didn't really seem to gel. But with Bob, we played Bark at the Moon, and even though he didn't. As he said, which I don't realise, is, he didn't really know the whole lyrics and he may have forgotten a few things. When we finished the song, he then said, "Would you like me to go higher?" And then we went, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I haven't reached my range yet, so where would you like me to stop?" So like, all right then, chill off. And from then on, it was a matter of fact that we all got together, and me and Josh and Mark, and we said, Bob his range is immaculate. He can go from low to in the middle to high, and he's got a really good range. And that's the thing. When it was the first rehearsal, it just kind of gelled together, like Josh said. It was gelled like that. It was like a semicircle coming into like a full. And that's what
half moon is a full moon, wasn't it? and then we were barking at it,
But no, it was just a really special moment, because Bark at the Moon is like Mark's favourite song ever, and he absolutely loves it. He idolises Jay Keeley, and we've never fully done it justice before, and that's like after rehearsing it time after time with the previous singers and everything. And I just remember, I looked at Mark when we were playing and Bob were there, and then the solo came in, and we just sort of looked at each other and we were like, yeah, it's happening, it's we're there. We
loved it.
Great. It's what you need, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting because, as you know, on the Inner Demon records page, we've been trying to do a sort of a Find Out in 5 feature where we asked the artists and the bands who are working with us to tell us a little bit more about them. And obviously, Josh, Bob, you both filled out that, and it's been posted out. And when I see the influences of the music that you like personally, I can hear that in the music that you're producing as well. So you can really see where that's rubbed off. Yeah. So yeah, it is really good. In fact, looking going on that point, it's probably an apt time to play one of your tracks just so people can have a listen to it and see what they think. So we're going to start off here and play Thy Will Be Done, isn't it? So what's the story behind this one?
It's about the horrors of war.
The horrors of war. Yeah, I think it comes across really well. Yeah, so
a little snippet about the beginning of this. You talk about influence and stuff like that. When the band gels so well together, you can focus on other things, and therefore we're able to record things. I'm able to record things and make it film phonic, is what I like to call it. So what I like to do is I want every track to sound like it should be in a film. And in the beginning of this, I had to sample some guns and such like that. But the helicopter, I recorded that. All the voices of all the soldiers, that's me shouting and bawling and carrying on.
Did you have to go around and sort of put different voices on so you could be more than one soldier? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Pan them all over the place or everywhere. But
come on, Bob. Let's see a couple of different soldier voices while we're waiting, then, just so we can hear.
Peel right, go.
You've done that before, I think, haven't you? Yeah, definitely.
I have.
Excellent. Well, tell you what, let's listen to the track and then we can come back and have another bit chat.
Hope you enjoy it, guys.
Here we go.
Those casualties of war.
Hi guys, right, that was fantastic. Really enjoyed that. I don't know if you guys are picking up on it, but we've got a few people in chat from the Inner Demon family. We've got Ina there. She's been saying you guys are awesome. So
thank you so much.
Cheers all.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, much appreciated.
So much.
I mean, she's over in Greece, Ina. So she said, I'm going to have to go because obviously it's going to be getting very late there. But I made the effort, so at least she's turned out to see you guys. So see who she's chatting to.
Kudos to you.
There's Simon from Kinstripes in there as well, and he said, "Hi, Guts," which got me a bit worried. I was thinking I'd put a bit of extra weight on through all the lockdown period, but then corrected it to guys, so maybe it wasn't quite so bad. But it was nice of him to notice anyway.
Hi, Simon. Hi, Simon. How are you doing?
That's it. Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
That's it. So we've obviously been working out that Paulie is doing the drums, Josh, you're doing the bass, and you're doing the singing there, Bob. So we've still got another member of the band who's missing, who's got some fantastic guitar work in there as well. So we're getting the horns up here. So what can you tell us about the other missing secret member that we've got in the band?
Well, his name is Magic Mark Whittle, and he's a very good guitar player. He's probably the oldest member of the band by several years. I think he's been around so long that he's just a guitar player. What more can I say?
Yeah, well, he's a very good guitar player. I mean, I play guitar myself, not very well, but I play and I listen to the guitar work that's in your tracks, and it's got some quality stuff in there. But so you're really lucky it doesn't matter what the age span is of the group, just to have the mix of people who gel and get it moving for you. So
yeah, Max. I mean, Max a really strong guitarist. I spoke to him yesterday for about an hour. We were just talking through guitar tones, styles, and such like that, and ideas to do with such. I mean, the fact that he's not on here tonight is just he's not really into social media and such like that. He likes to keep his head in the music space, enjoy himself a lot. But he's absolutely dedicated to music. I mean, we gravitate as much around Mark as being a pivotal member, the absolute pivotal member in the core of the band. I have my job, producing the stuff and whatnot and singing the stuff. Josh takes care of social media and whatnot. And Paul's dynamite drummer and just absolute metronome, brilliant, which is what you want. You need a really solid guy on the heavy artillery at the back. That is the root of things. But to tie it all together and to bring us all together, that's what Mark does. It might seem like the Scarlet Pimpernel because he's not here and he's not all over social media, but he doesn't really give a monkeys about social media. He just wants to play, and the volume of knowledge that he possesses about how to play guitar and how we talk about getting those tones out of guitar to basically to create these tracks is phenomenal. It's phenomenal because you've got to bear in mind that essentially we're not doing anything special. We're using tones and tuning which people have used for a long time. We don't detune, right? It's all Paul's drums on there. Every little bit of it. All I do in production is bring it out. And to be able to do that, to be able to discuss, an undertrack, what we're going to do on an undertrack, we want some kind of Malcolm Young sort of like sound underneath it, and it might be a couple of levels down in the production and stuff like that, but it just adds that little bit of tinsel, and it's really clear, and it's that kind of specification on the tracks, and we can easily reproduce live.
Yeah, you've got a lot of experience, obviously, Bob, from doing that type of thing to hit the level that you're getting the tracks to. So, how long have you been involved in that side of the production?
I've been doing production just a little bit of time before I joined 6 Feet Below, I started dabbling in it because I wanted to create music that wasn't too faffy, that wasn't, you know, didn't want to follow John. And this is before I met the lads, but it had to be original and it had to be fresh, but it had to be solid, really solid. You know, like music that is filmphonic and sounds like a classic before it's the shelves. That kind of good, and that's a big ask of yourself. So I just dug in, and once I found 6 Feet Below, they'd already been into the recording studio. I was able to, take some of the stuff and record some stuff myself, and record some stuff between me and Josh. You know, we do it remotely, and just get it all together, and it just falls into place. It's more, I would say, it's more by coincidental luck for us all to be together. We found each other, and we've got this absolute cherry studio where you can record your drums and the guitars and such like that. And then what I do is I master it all and put on the intros, sound effects, and such like that, and my voice, and write the words for the songs. So it's not an extensive knowledge, but I was doing a little bit of work with some European bands before 6 Feet Below, just recording some stuff for them and whatnot, and basically laying down tracks for them, and I just learned to do it as I went along. I didn't go to college to do it. I haven't got qualifications in it. I just learned to do it as I went along. Man, so it's not a great deal of experience, but I knew exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, well, it seems to work. But I know from being privy to some of the conversation that goes on in the groups that you've obviously got 4 tracks coming on the EP when it gets released. But I've also seen that you started planning potential tracks for the follow-up EP. So how many tracks have you actually got sitting in the pipeline that we can all look forward to at some point?
There's loads, isn't there?
There's loads.
Yeah. That's not including the album that we're planning, but there's just loads. I mean, Paul will tell you, it's not just from this band, but we've had other bands in the past that obviously Mark and Paul have been a part of, and they've got many tracks themselves that we could potentially do.
Yeah.
Well, is anybody good at maths? What's 12 times 5?
You got 60 of you.
Yeah, there's a lot of material in the backlog. There's going to be 13 on this album, on the Dice cast, and those cherry picked from some 6 Feet Below, some songs, and some Misery Remains songs, which is Paul is in with Mark also, and those are going to be, they don't sound like much at the moment, but I can see something in these tracks which we can bring out, and it's basically around the drumming and the guitar and the bass, because obviously these tracks have already been recorded with vocals, but we need to rejuvenate that. I see potential in them. And so we bring those out, and every time I do that and I present it to the band, we talk about this as we go through the process, obviously. And I say, well, what about this? What about that? I present it to the band and they say, I don't like this or I do like that. And we gravitate towards the finished item. So, I mean, me and Josh, we have many discussions. We talk every day about music, about where we're going with a certain track or whatever like that. And we kind of rough it out. You've seen how deep we go into writing the story about the song and what it's going to be about. For the track that I'm laying the vocals on at the moment, the last track of the EP, Josh and I were at pains going through that and going through the storyline. And Josh wrote a small novella, and then I embellished that to say what if this and what if that. We agreed on that. And then now we've got the storyline, and the lyrics are basically part taken from that, and some lyrics which Josh has written as well. So it's that grey mixing pot. And once we get all that together, then I throw it at Paul, right? And Paul generally goes, "That sounds ace. That sounds brilliant." Or he's yet to say, "That sounds shit, Bob." I'm sure there will come a time where he does that. I'm sure there will come a time. But I try and listen to exactly what Josh wants, in production, and I try and envisage what Paul wants, from his drums. And luckily, everything's more or less on point. So there's a lot of tracks to do. There's a big back catalogue, and that's not including the stuff that we're going to write. I mean, I've got songs to present to the band, which I probably won't be able to do that maybe for another 2 years. That's how much material there is. So
it's a nice position to be in, yeah.
Yeah, so we're quite. It's quite a luxurious position to be in, and we're steeped in a lot of music here.
Yeah,
there's a lot to release.
The thing is, like, it takes a lot of time. I know we've got these songs that have been pre-recorded with drums and bass, and the vocals have, we had vocals on before, but Bob has totally changed the aspects of what the theme is, where the stories, what the story is telling you. And that's what I like about Bob's, lyrics. It tells you a story rather than what's going on. So there's a difference between that, which, with the bands of like with Queen, and, bands like that, it just makes a difference. Whereas, before we had, it wasn't bad, and it was good music. But what I think Bob has changed is in a perspective is where it goes around in a circle and comes back where it hits you in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, and it takes a long time to kind of get the right thing. Do you know what I mean? It has to be
the right feel.
Whereas Bob he'll take his time on it, and he'll ask us before it's finished, does that sound good? Or what would you change? Whereas we say, he'll really, he's got a really keen ear for that kind of thing, which is nice. It really is nice to hear.
Yeah, it really seems to work. Before we finish tonight, we've got probably another 20, 25 minutes to go. But we're obviously going to finish with your track, You, tonight. But I obviously have to play a bit of music to keep things moving along. And the other night, you probably saw another one of our shows go out with the guys in Goat Monsoon. So I'm going to play one of their tracks now, and before we come back and have another bit of chat. Got a really entertaining video. Yeah, so we'll put that on and then catch up again shortly.
Excellent.
Here we go.
See you guys.
You took me with nothing. I was
Well, welcome back, guys. What do you think of that then? That's a right beast of a track, isn't it?
A fantastic track from Goat Monsoon is that. I watched them on part of their podcast or where it was the other day. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's a great video. I'd like to put something like that together.
Really high energy, isn't it? Yeah, really good.
I was just going to say, I'd like to, take a music video in my car like that, but it's not going to happen.
We need to get a music video, don't we?
Well, yeah, you get there. You guys are still getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way. You know, we've got Vicar Susan Swindler says saying 6 feet below, giving you the horns up there, loving these guys, coming from Richard from Kinstripe, and Richard has said, guys, what are your influences? I hear a lot of different influences in your music. So,
ooh, Josh, go.
Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Dio, Metallica, Bob, go.
Ozzy, Metallica. Stuff I'm listening to at the moment is symphonic metal, like what we called? He's put me on the spot and I've forgotten. Dream Tale. Stratovarius, love all that kind of stuff. Paul, go.
Rainbow, White Snake, Def Leppard. Just so many. Like, I'm quite of a modern musician. Like, I listen to rock, rap, any kind of thing. So. Just whatever. When I hear the tone, I know what's going to be, what it has to be. So,
you didn't need
Josh,
Simply Red in there, Josh.
go.
You didn't need Simply Red.
You've already done. I will say, I'll give a holler out. I'll give a holler out to Richard because I know that he's working hard down there in the Falkland Islands. So good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. I'll speak to you soon again on the chat.
Excellent. Good to see. I understand that the Metal Messiah, Sid himself, is appearing on some of the chat as well. He's coming to check that I'm doing a decent job in his chair there. What you probably don't know, or some of the people don't know, is we nearly had a mini meltdown about 50 minutes before the show came on because I've had this platform open all day so I could chat to you guys. And then about 50 minutes before the show was due to start, I caught the Ethernet cable. It popped out and I lost all the logins. So it was a mad dash to try and get it all up and running again before.
Well, we're here.
It seems to have worked, doesn't it? We've got away with it. I maybe shouldn't have said, but there we go. It's going okay. So we're going to be playing You to finish off tonight, which was one of the, as I say, the first tracks that I heard by you guys. Which is a sort of a change from some of your other ones because you've had the history tracks with Daesh will be done, and we've had a bit of Egyptian stuff in there, but this one's more of a bit of a psycho sort of thriller. That's the impression I got of it with the old chainsaw and various bits going. So what's the story behind that one?
Well, this song was written. This song was written before I.
Jason.
Jason Voorhees. Nice profile, Paul. This song was written before I came to the band, and the lyrics are strong. The only thing I think it needed was a bit of a horror theme. So we had a bit of a discussion, and we wanted chainsaws, we wanted screaming, and we wanted splattering blood. But we also wanted a bit of, how can I say, a bit of woman power in there. So it's the woman that's doing it to the bloke. Right. So we added that, and then we were thinking, then I was thinking, what else does this song need? Something else. What else does this song need? And I'm thinking, and I'm racking my brains, and I'm wondering what. And I thought, I know what it needs. It needs you. And that's what it needed. That's what it got.
You know what? I think one of the things that stuck with me for the longest on that track was there was a line in there. There ain't no God, there ain't no love, if I remember correctly.
There ain't no God, there ain't no love.
Yeah. And it really works well in the track. I remember do you know when you get those earworms where you just get a track in your head and it doesn't matter what you do, that would happen.
Yeah. It's always good to have an earworm.
That's it. And when you get to be a man of a certain age and you start waking up a bit more in the night to have to go and relieve yourself, I'd sort of like wake up and instantly it was there. You know, there ain't no God. You know, he really isn't. He's waking us up to go to the loo. You know. So, but no, absolutely cracking track there. So,
thanks very much. Thanks.
Yeah. Brilliant song.
Yeah, it is a brilliant song. When did you actually start putting that one together then before the actual release?
Well, that song is a bit before my time. Probably about 5 years old, would you say, Paul? So
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think it was one of the first 6 feet songs actually written, wasn't it? With Daz, I believe.
No. Sorry, pardon me. It was actually done in my spare bedroom at my mother's house. Me and Mark wrote that tune kind of thing. Mark came up with the guitar lick, and I came up with the drums. And it wasn't until Sarah joined the band, who was the bass player before Josh, and we just wrote the song. We didn't really have any lyrics until Darren came along. Then obviously Darren had other commitments and things like that. So you know, the whole song was written and we played it live and things, which were really nice, and we got some really good feedback. But you know, obviously, you know, Bob has really introduced himself to the band, and he made his own lyrics to the song, and he kept some of the old lyrics, which is why when he said there ain't, you know the earworms, what you're on about. You know, I think that's the kind of like attachment that we have with that song as well.
Yeah.
Because Bob created his own world in this song. You know,
but I use the lyrics that were there. I used the lyrics that were there to create what I thought the lyrics meant, and try to embellish on them. And I didn't actually change any lyrics. What I did is I just changed the whole melody.
Mm-hmm.
The way you toned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it certainly seems to work.
It has to be fraught.
In my ear, it sounds like that you changed the whole perspective of the whole thing, which is weird. Yeah. It's a weird kind of thing to listen to, because you know, when you hear one song, you know, you're like, your ear comes attached to that piece of music, whereas Bob totally changed that. So when he says, you know, that he sang the same lyrics but he sang it in a different way, it kind of feels like he sang different in that way. You know, the different lyrics.
Put a new twist onto it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it is a great track. It's actually going to be the track that finishes off my show on Monday night as well. I can tell you that, guys. So
cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've picked up on this, because I appreciate you probably won't have listened. I've only done a few of the shows on Inner Demon Radio so far, but you were the only band that you have 100% attendance on my show so far.
You can't say 100%. Not yet.
It's definitely it's 100% as far as I use some of your music as little backing behind my voice on intros as well. So so there you go. It's really good music. It's been great catching up with you guys and having a bit chat tonight. But what I'd really like now is all the women to sort of tune out so that they don't get any chainsaw ideas while we play you to see the night out. So
I just thought I hope my missus in watching.
Gemma!
Yeah, well, I thought you might have copied it already, Josh, because I remember one of our early chats, you were referring to in one of the old English terms as the bird.
Oh, yeah, me bird.
Yeah, you can get chopped for that nowadays. That's enough to get the chainsaw out, isn't it?
Well, I'll lend her my chainsaw for that one. I'll lend her mine.
Well, I hope it's a still chainsaw.
Well, that's it.
Good brand.
Get some WD-40 on that, guys.
No, that's it. Well, look, guys, we're going to finish off there. We're going to play the track out, and it's been great catching up with you, and I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon. Thanks very much for joining us on Into the Fire, and I'll say this is 6 feet. Great. Well, this is 6 feet below, and you. Thanks again, guys. Oh, we've got.
Thank you, Bob. Thank
Put
you,
your
bye.
chairs all
Yeah,
the way.
bye-bye.
See you later, guys. So long now.
See you later.
Bye.
Now let's see. We'll just toss the side of that
exactly how to feel. Coming through my world, but nothing you feel is right. Living inside my nightmare, hoping my brains are tight. Yo, think love is a dream. Why find your love and just a little too extreme? Yo, look together. There is no God, there is no love. Coming to my world, you'll never be the same. You're living inside my nightmare, when all you feel is pain. With the burning deep inside of me, the pain I cannot hold. When I fight in isolation, my skin is turning cold. You hold the key, but you won't let go, and I've got to break away. Goodbye, my love, I scream as my nightmare fades the death of me. One I'll be the death of you, guaranteed. Yo, look together. There is no God, there is no love. Yo, in my world. Yo, in my world. Yo. Are in my world. Yo, are in my